You know what I learned from this shit-ass drama? Is that Twitter drama is overblown to massive levels, commentary channels will make mountains out of anthills, and hot Cheeto girls with serious mental problems should not be taken seriously on the internet. And with someone we know beating a dead horse, I guess I should pick up a bat and start beating too. So do you remember the Antoons drama and how much outrage there was behind it?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too, and it's been about a year and I regret making those 2 videos about it.
Cancer.
These videos are just not good, and my thoughts have changed a lot since, especially when I did more digging into this mess. So I decided to make a retrospective of this clusterfuck of a situation, and the first thing I'm going to be talking about are the first 2 videos I did. I just hate these little creations of mine. They're just a bunch of reactionary responses going off other people's videos, especially Antoons' answer turning red.
I'm on my
Enough! I mean, look at this fucking cringy shit.
You're making a 17-year-old character shoot period blood in a fucking fighting game. Wouldn't it matter if they're 18 too, cause, you're 31. They're still 18. That's kinda sus, dude.
Bruh, what the fuck is this shit? What was I thinking back then? You think if I kept this Rory-washy mindset, I'd whine about Keemstar's 20-year-old date too? Along with these videos just looking like some dude trying way too hard to reach out to some guy that mutually knows him. Also, that Stone Toss take was shit. Yeah, it's kind of like over time I realized a dude making edgy comics on the internet is kind of harmless and does nothing really meaningful to hurt anybody.
It's funny because it's true.
Stone Toss isn't curb stomping minorities in the streets, he's making edgy jokes on the internet, Jesus Christ. Bruh, people be treating some fucking edgy comic book artist like they're the next coming of Brad Pitt. Like, bruh, take it easy, it's just some edgy shit on the internet. It's not some big-ass psyop dog whistle hit into some bullshit at every fat, commie man-bun loser with no real job and knows how to whine on the internet wants you to think.
Argue that I'm giving Stone Toss a platform by talking about it for a whole video, but that really isn't how platforming something works. We need to be able to talk about how our enemies operate.
Bro, you see the point I'm making here with these internet intellectuals just bitching and moaning about some edgy comic artists on the internet? Like, come on, dude, listen to yourself. How our enemies operate? Like, take it easy, it's just an edgy joke on the internet. Bro, it's not some call to arms, it isn't that deep. But Twitter mites don't care. They'll give you attention for literally making fun of anything.
Oh, brother.
It's also like the Pillsbury Doughboy wants you to bitch and moan about him because it gives him free advertisement. It's like he knows saying a suicide percentage will make you likely to join it.
Hey man, that's not cool.
Ooh man, I got edgy there.
I'm edgy as fuck!
I mean, hey, it could be worse. Stone Boy over here could be drawing CP, Lolicon, and Zoophile bullshit. So yeah, back to the topic I was talking about. I'm just going to unlist those videos I made. They don't really hold my current views on this crap, and along with my thoughts just changing over time in me as a person. I mean, bruh, I deadass say fag in my videos now. I'm not scared of people getting mad about that shit because it's pathetic. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about my dumb videos now, the edgy Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now onto what this video is really about. How the Antoons drama was an overblown mess started by your average Twitter users and a bunch of commentary channels taking shit out of context for easy clicks. So, do any of you remember how all this shit started in the first place?
No.
It all started because Anton dare questioned Autumn's cutesy-ass little transgender comic.
That's it?
And dare question Autumn if they were biologically a guy or a girl, because at the time, Puppy-chan was saying that they were trans. To be specific, Puppy-chan was saying at the time that she was male to female, despite the fact that she was biologically a woman. Uh-oh. Funny enough, Antoine was the person to call them out on this, and immediately right after, she just pulled the non-binary card. Hate to drop a truth bomb on you, but if you're a woman, you can't transition into a woman.
That's not how it works.
Also, men can't have periods. That just means something's wrong with your urethra. And a lot of people blew this out of the water, saying it was pedophilia because she was 17 at the time.
What?
Okay, how is asking if someone is biologically a guy or a girl considered pedophilic? It's not like Anton was asking for nudes, he was asking a question.
But I will say, make it clear, don't ask anyone about the genitals. I didn't think I had to, like, say that specifically.
What the fuck does any of this have to do about asking about genitals? He's asking if she's biologically a guy or a girl or not. That's a yes or no question. What the fuck, dude? Man, it's kind of like PuppyChan and a bunch of Twitter users purposely inflated this lie for their own gain, along with a bunch of false information spreading about Antoons being a pedo, despite no actual hard evidence to back up that claim. And I know I'm about to get that one guy saying, hey, what about that one time he said, hey, poor man on him to just stop? Looks pretty pedo-pill to me. What? The word of the day is context, because Anton didn't even send those in a pedophilic context either. Antoons posted these as an example to Just Stop not to take these people seriously, along with just fucking with him and mocking the person that made these equivalent to petty Wojak comics.
I win.
Bro, he's deadass saying that they're friends when it's kind of clear they ain't and somebody has a projection problem. Bruh, even in his newer video he states not to take them seriously.
So Just Stop was also offended when I showed him what my biggest fans were drawing of me. It included the typical not suitable for work degeneracy. I showed this art to prove a point that these artists are not to be taken seriously, but Just Stop called it porn.
Oh, they made you fan art? And he proceeded to show me porn.
And reported my Discord account a week later, because he was 16 at the time, and the minor cannot see such art, or so it seemed. What's funny is that he has gone through my entire Twitter timeline to dig up any dirt on me and saw all the similar art and more in my history, but still went along and continued his research on me. When you know, he could have just stopped and avoided me completely if he had found such art problematic. He didn't even have to talk to me knowing that I have association with such tweets. Of course he would never do that. Clout is more important. He would pretend he is okay with seeing such art, talk to me for over a whole week, and only to report my Discord account the day he released his video on me. If that's not a scummy move, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, Just Stop's only real point is that these pictures are technically porn.
That's a pimp.
And someone's shitty coping mechanism. Bro, when you become friends with an artist you constantly railed on for supporting Shadman's fucked up pedo art just because someone you hate didn't kneel to them over someone else's John Bob joke. When the relationship is surface level, lol. Hey, ever want to see a grown man with over 100k followers on Twitter and draws furry butts for a living, just bitch and moan to someone that they barely know to unfollow someone that just made a tiny joke about them on the internet? Oh, boo-hoo! You got made fun of on the internet. Cry about it, Vim Homeless. Bro, you deadass have 100k followers on Twitter.com. I mean, come on. I bet people have said worse about you. I mean, hey, I'm not the one getting mad over a baseless comment, Vim. It says more about you than it does him. Well, at least someone proves something right about Vim Homeless. Himself. Here's a question, Vim. Do you have a guilty conscience?
But that is a story for another day.
Alright, enough making fun of people that were sorta involved in this shit. Let's get right back on topic. So yeah, in a nutshell, Antoons was just fucking around with Just Stop.
Little trolling.
Do I support him sending somebody's hate porn to somebody that was 16 at the time?
What? No.
Bruh, of course not. I'm just saying there was no pedophilic context to this shit. I mean, hey, maybe Just Stop could have said he was uncomfortable seeing this shit in his DMs, and maybe Anton could have censored these images. Come on, dude. I could do that shit in Snipping Tool. It's that easy. Bruh, were the screenshots of Antoons actually asking or sending nudes to someone that was underage? Hey, if that actually happened in any of this bullshit, then you can compare him to the next John K. Snippy all you want, but there's no actual evidence out there. But knowing how much hate there is towards Antoons, I bet any expose screenshots would just be made by some A-log who has way too much time on their hands. What I'm saying here is that they'd probably be doctored screenshots.
It's fake.
I can also talk about his Cosmodor comment, which Antoons brings up in his second video, where he explains in the last bits where he talked about the Cosmodor comment, he noticed Cosmodor dating another minor after that first dilemma with the American chick, along with bringing up how USA and German age of consent laws don't mix. I know I'm doing a rush together recap of what he said, but here's the actual clip to explain it.
When one cancelled cartoon review channel Cosmodor made an apology video and I commented, Just Stop quickly ran to Twitter to say I'm defending a pedophile and later made a reaction stream on his channel talking about me.
Thank you. Thank you, Antoons.
And just for clarity, Just Stop did not straight up say I'm defending a pedophile, but he did heavily imply it, considering I sent him the NSFW art.
That means I can send them NSFW. I think this was literally an Antoons used when he was trying to say that I was in the wrong. Like, I posted some NSFW to my account. You must have seen that. So therefore, it was okay for me to send NSFW to you.
And about Cosmodor, Just Stop was obsessing over that guy for months to get him out of the cartoon community since he's a major competitor in the review business. But if you watch this Ponder Sprocket video on Cosmodor, you'll see the full context on why Cosmodor was actually hated at the time.
Look, to be perfectly frank, Cosmodor does have a few good points to bring up. And it's essentially because he's arguing the big faceless audience mob, which he later says he doesn't want to argue, which tends to exaggerate claims to the farthest possible degree. A lot of this is literally just centered around the audience collectively just not understanding the terms that they're using. In this case, the term would be pedophile. Cosmodor is right to call out people calling him this, because they are objectively wrong. However, even if Cosmodor argues he's not a pedo, which he's not, anyone claiming that is a moron and needs to reacquaint themselves with the definition of the word, assuming they've even read it to begin with. I'm so sick of this word just being thrown around at everything. Everyone who calls Cosmodor a pedophile is objectively wrong. Using friends in predatory relationships to explain why you thought it was okay and then pretending like you didn't know those people later on doesn't help you. You don't get to choose how you're held accountable. German laws don't just magically stop existing before the clause that covers the issue. I don't know, maybe some sort of magical fantasy land.
This was all before Cosmodor announced he got in trouble with the second minor, by the way. So don't get the wrong idea. I didn't have contact with Cosmodor since that announcement. And I was forgiving of Cosmodor's initial mess, and I thought he would fix himself over time, since the cancel mob is 9 times out of 10 exaggerating everything to extremes. I saw him being falsely labeled as a pedo or a map, the same way as people label me today as being a Nazi or a racist, which is of course false. Age of consent in Europe is lower than in the US, so I saw Cosmodor was getting an unfair treatment because he was dating an American girl. And if we're gonna compare my porn sending drama, the age of consent in Estonia has just been raised from 14 to 16. So yeah, there's that. So it doesn't matter where Just Stop was living at the time. In the zone I was living in, the law states that it's legal, so maybe everyone was just confused with the different laws between countries. And yes, I know Cosmodor lied a few times, but made him untrustworthy, which made everything so much worse. That's why I said in my comment that he did do some bad things, but that's not the end of the world. So I did talk with Cosmodor for a bit in DMs to understand him better. Shortly after, he stopped answering after his final community post on YouTube, where he admitted to, having another thing with another minor. So to me that was a sign that Cosmodor probably has deeper problems than I thought initially. Today people like to bring up how I'm defending Cosmodor without having the full context. People like to have this in the anti-Antoons list to say that I'm defending a pedophile, which is not true at all.
And on a minor note, I could also talk about the spanking animations he did on Just Stop and Harley TBS and how they both said it was porn, when in actuality it's not.
Literal porn of me.
Literal porn of me. Literal porn of me.
Are you sure about that?
Man, it's like spanking is also a disciplinary action that's still used to this very day.
Oh, brother.
Bro, are these speds just mad because he was making a weird face and had a Speedo on? You know what, there, I fixed it for you. Now he has an angry face on. Are you happy, Just Stop? Are you happy? You were both fatherless children and should have been beaten more as kids.
Oh! Ew! What the fuck?
Now let's go back in time and talk about something else that people were saying that was porn when in actuality it wasn't. Yeah, let's talk about the fucking period squirting shit. Sure, you can say it's petty, fucked up even, but it isn't fucking porn. People were deadass saying this was sexualizing somebody. Bro, it's fucking censored, dude. Like, come on, it's not even drawn provocatively like someone else in the room's art. What I'm saying is that there's a difference between South Park's Red Rocket scene and Shadman drawing NSFW of Daphne Keene. A, at the time, 11-year-old actress, I mind you. The point I'm trying to make here is that there is a difference between edgy and raunchy comedy and degenerate bullshit that sodomites wink it off to on the internet.
Comedy is subjective, Murray.
And for a final bit, I could talk about both 2-hour-long movies Anton made to debunk some claims on him, and I did watch both of them, by the way, and it was really boring. Both films, if you really want to classify them as that, had their cringe bits and could have gone to the points a lot faster, but they still cleared up some shit. Like that one comment Daphne took out of context saying that Anton was going to plan a betrayal against Puppy-chan, despite that he deadass said it himself that Peace was a better option. Did you even read the messages? Anton could have, but what would he even gain from it? He even states this in his original remastered drama video.
Why is Antoons giving in to the f***ing mob?
It's not that. Papi-chan apologized and took all responsibility regarding harassment, though she made a lousy tweet explaining to her followers what really happened, without even mentioning my name, LMAO. She later added that in the comments though. I don't really care if she's not gonna be in the game, to be honest. It's very easy to replace her sprites with another character. But at the end of the day, I win, because she DM'd me about taking down the video. The power of animation makes people scared, lol.
No, you don't win, dude. You were caved in and were fed peanuts. Tell her to do a proper apology with your name and her actual age, otherwise you're being cocking out. Those will continue to attack you without end.
She still DMs me, so I will try a non-aggressive route for now, and use that to stop the spam, as they now go after my YouTube channel, which I gotta admit is annoying, as it brings the Twitter drama to my mostly PC channel. I could go all out on her, but I would get reported again, and I'm tired of that by now. I can wait for 2 months until she's 18, so she can't use her minor card, but the pedo accusations won't die down. Unlike Stone Toss and Mr. Pumpkin Face, I make money off my YouTube channel, so I need to be more careful. I can easily ask her to make more tweets regarding the spam, instead of locking my account 5 times. I don't expect them to stop completely, but she's a valuable figure in this war with the left with a giant following. There are other ways to get her to prove her age. We just need her full name.
Oh, so she's a valuable figure. Dude, she wants your blood just because she's going, pretty please don't humiliate me when I try to ruin your life. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, what if she is 17? Then what? I would lose the good side with her if I force her.
First of all, I called a Master Sheikh who's even younger than that. Just a conversation above this one. Second, do you actually believe that they won't turn on you the second they need it to turn on you? You're holding the knife by the handle right now. That's the one single reason she's being our friendly. If you didn't do that video, what if she DM'd you? What if she apologized if you ended up losing your job? What if she apologized if your YouTube channel got deleted, demonetized, or whatever? It's up to you, dude, but cocking your own progress because someone who wanted to ruin your life asked for mercy when they were the one that got fucked by their own hubris. It ain't a victory.
That's the thing, she's autistic, so she doesn't grasp a lot of concepts. But I did work as a carer for autistic people for a few years. There is a strategy.
Oh, fuck off, Antoon. Does she have an actual diagnosis? Everyone is an autist in this day and age. Everyone has 27 different genders. I am bipolar, multigender, poly, queer, trans, fat. It's all a buzzword. It doesn't mean anything.
I judge her based on her typing. Even in our DMs, she acts like a child and tries to be cute.
People can just be retarded. Socially retarded. Yeah, like a crow, like every fucking leftist.
You know it's always easy to burn the bridge, but going a pacifist route can have unique rewards.
If I started going, ooh, I feel cute today, Antoon senpai, since I'm autistic, can you give me money? Okay, such as? What are you gaining from this pacifistic route? People will say you harassed a minor. You would delete your video even though previously you said you didn't want to.
No, I said I won't delete it, no matter what she says.
Scratch that, but the people will continue to harass you.
Not when she states what happened. Did you see her tweets? She didn't pursue the explanation, but she did make the first step regarding the genital stuff.
Told you, dude, unless it is a proper apology to you and it discredits all the accusations on you, you're basically giving the knife back to the robber.
I have no voice in the art community on Twitter, as it's 99% LGBT/autistic.
I don't even get the whole burn a bridge talk. She isn't a bridge you can cross.
She has a large following.
How about the Daft Penis interview? I heard in your voice you explaining things. You weren't justifying yourself. Probably you thought she, or he, God knows what the fuck a Daft Pina is, would be at least a modicum affair. And in video comes out, Antoon, the racist tracer. You're cultured, dude. You got experience talking with people face to face, but on the internet there is no balance. Look at the Stone Toss or Red Panels. They thrive because they never back down.
Daft Pina's video exposed a lot of holes in his narrative, so I will use that to my advantage.
That's just because a Daft Pina is an idiot.
But now that Papi-chan is friendly with me, I can also use that. The biggest attack my enemies have right now is the pedo accusations. It's more common now after the game video. So if Papi-chan proves them wrong, they will move on to the next thing, and that's what I need.
Yes, now a thing that would utterly destroy that attack is if a Papi-chan told everyone she isn't a 17. Ask her for the document.
Man, Daft Pina might have prescription glasses, but for some reason he still can't read. And speaking of Daft Pina, he's kind of the main reason why this drama even continued in the first place. Daft literally took something out of context, said it was for some betrayal thing, and people thought it was the truth, including me, until I watched Antoons' video where he explained it a little bit more. And believe it or not, it's not the only thing Daft Pina has taken out of context or lied about. Hey, remember Daft Pina's racist tracer video, how he said he had a 6-hour interview with Antoons, only to like, use 6 minutes of it.
Bruh.
Do you even know how much shit we're missing out on without those 6 hours? Hell, I've even seen videos where one of the points was,
"Ooh, well, Daph doesn't need to show the whole interview. He has enough evidence as is."
I just want to say something right now. When you do an interview with somebody, you're not going to have the entire conversation put into the final product. When it comes to interviews for videos, for the most part, they're only going to talk about what is related to the topic, what is relevant. I've done a couple interviews for videos as well, and usually they go between 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
45 minutes, that an hour and a half.
man, it's kind of like Leo Convoy's hour-long videos are just full of nothing but jabs, pointless bits, and on-the-spot thoughts that are all over the fucking place. The video I got this clip from is mostly just Leo and Lovely rambling about how tracing bad for about an hour. And when in the video they're talking about, Antoons states that he just uses tracing to keep on model and is not for his professional works. It's apparently bad because tracing bad.
So he's clearly setting up this narrative that tracing's not that bad, but to my knowledge, and we'll have to go through, of course we're going to go through the whole thing, he never makes a case that it's not. Where's his counter-argument?
Takes comic artists from Twitter, mainly political comics, so red-pilled artists, blue-pilled artists, and artists in between, and pits them against each other in a fighting game. The game did use images to match the characters being represented, but only just about one image for each character. The example of what I used, the one that got most attention, was an image of a certain comic creator on the blue-pilled side. I traced that as the base for the model in the mock-up trailer, but after that all the animation bits, like his attacks, were original. The only reason I traced one image was to make sure their representation looked recognizable, and once I got it down, I made the rest of the work from scratch. Of course, the people who already have a problem with me, the game, or both, have been trying to find ways to ruin my passion and get me to lose the support I have gathered over the years. So the few people that noticed the similarities with the picture and the animation stated that everything should be done from scratch, and began campaigning the idea that tracing is wrong, no matter who does it.
Where's his counter-argument?
You stupid! Also gotta love how in Leo and Lovely's video they criticize Anton's method on parodying with,
"Well, bro, even though I hate him, Eagle Raptor does his animated parodies in his own style, so Anton should do them too."
Parodies that use tracing is that it is good to use it in order to get the right feeling for the show. A good parody tries to have you feel like you're watching the original source material, at least in some way.
No, that is not necessarily true of parodies. I don't know where you're getting that from. As much as I dislike him as a person, Ego Raptor's Awesome series is a really good indicator that you can do parodies without looking exactly like the source material.
Who cares? Yeah, it's kind of like Anton's opinion on how he does his parodies. Who fucking cares if someone's animated parody is done in their own style or is mimicking the original style? I like how you two in your video keep on using the term whataboutism when most of your criticisms are whataboutisms.
You stupid.
When are people going to realize that this tracing bullshit is such a fucking non-issue? Bruh, it's barely even the original thing and can still count as transformative even on a legal level. Because when it's not actually infringing on somebody else's copyright or, you know, making money off somebody else's work, who cares? You won't believe how many fucking bitches out there just cry tracing when, oh no, someone did a similar pose as someone else's art piece. What next? Are people gonna get mad at me because I drew the rider kick for somebody else's character? A familiar pose from the Tokusatsu series Kamen Rider? I know what I'm trying to say is a very, very, very out there example, but what I'm just trying to say is that tracing isn't a sin against God as all these e-celebs want you to think. If it's transformative and not infringing on anybody's copyright, why the hell are you getting so pissy about it? Anton is not Butch Hartman just taking other people's art and just tracing it over for $200 and saying that it's a totally original piece. Because that would actually be making money off other people's work. There's no fair use or transformative shit to that. That's actually infringing on copyrights. Man, wait until Leo Convoy and a bunch of other losers on the internet find out that third-party figures and model kits are a thing, and a bunch of legal loopholes exist to get people away with that shit. Also, Lovely, I know about your secret. Why were you friends with Zoo and Pedofurry and not even talk about it, or publicly disown them? Excuse my mini call-out pose, but I think I have the right to be suspicious of a guy that is known very well on YouTube for constantly roasting the hell out of Zoophiles, and yet didn't disown the ones that he knew.
You looking real sussy over there.
Now, were you spying on them? Were you just not aware? Or are you hiding something, Lovely?
Zoophiles, pedophiles, other abusers, and their apologists, aren't being ejected from the community. They're the ones running it.
Also, back to the interview bit, like, do you even know how much context we're even missing from that? It's 6 hours worth of shit. Hell, for all we know, Daft Pina is just cutting out shit for his own benefit. Because the only real thing we actually see of this 6 minutes that Daft Pina used in his interview was just, like, Anton talking for a bit, and the only negative point he even brings up is that, Antoons is friends with Stone Toss and Pumpkin Face, and they don't show their identities. That means they're not real friends.
I would say they're friends as in, we chat, you know, we have like these chats, and we communicate with each other in those chats, but, you know, none of the personal information is shared, like where we live. Well, I mean, they obviously know, everybody knows where I am and what's my full name and stuff. So,
do they not trust you with at least their first name?
They don't trust anyone actually. So they don't. I think it's not safe to release in the U.S. I think it's not. I think safe to release this sort of information online.
Release.
Sorry.
Well, you say you're sort of friends with them.
Yeah.
But they don't trust you with at least their first name in private conversation.
Yeah. I think that just goes to even between among themselves, you know, like all the people on Twitter in this community, they don't really know each other's names. It's not just me, you know. It's like normal.
Not normal.
What? This whole entire shit Daft is trying to pull is literally just a fucking boomer excuse of, oh, your internet friends aren't real friends. Yeah, it's not like internet friends are a thing, you moron. I don't need to see someone's face on the internet to be an internet friend with them. Sure, I wouldn't meet up with them because I don't know them that well, but come on, Shutter Shades. Even Just a Robot makes fun of you for this shit.
But if Daft only used 6 minutes of a 6-hour-long interview, he must have really picked the most juicy and damning parts to take out of context. Anyways, let's play a clip from Daft's interview with Antoons.
Really know each other's names. It's not just me, you know. It's like normal.
Not normal.
Wow, really? That's the best you could do? Daft, it is normal. You didn't know my name, or my face, or really that much about me, and I considered you to be a friend. There are plenty of YouTubers and content creators who don't show their face, or tell people what their names are. Some people just really care about their anonymity.
As to trust someone you've never seen, let alone spoken to, puts into question the motives of that person.
Or maybe there are certain people out there who will be willing to physically assault them, dox them, try to swat them, and do a lot of other things to them. So they try to stay as anonymous as possible. And considering that you later dox someone by leaking their private Facebook account, you're the exact reason why people don't share their names with people, even their close internet friends.
I know there is a stigma between Just a Robot for obvious reasons, but if you want some videos about Daft Pina being a manipulative snake, go watch Jar's 2 videos about Daft. Also Daft, if you even care to listen, where in God's name is that 6-hour unedited interview you had with Antoons? I mean, you promised to upload it on your alternate channel, but it's been about a year and a couple of months. Come on, dude, don't keep us waiting that long. But I guess Daft Pina is more focused on making Family Guy memes and letting Meat Cannon use his channel to say, I am so sorry for making NFTs Twitter, please forgive me. Also threatening to dox people, or just plain out doxing people by finding their private Facebook account. Because it's not the first and definitely won't be the last time Daft Pina does this kind of crap and just lies out of his teeth like the snake he is.
Sad.
You know, something isn't right here. Time for a schizo theory. Okay, why does Meat Cannon need Daft Pina to say he's so sorry for making NFTs?
And didn't care. However, that's a separate issue. And so to learn a bit more about this, I spoke with Meat Canyon, as he did some NFTs back in March when the trend started to roll out. Knowing what you know now, would you still have made NFTs?
No, I think that I wouldn't do it. I think that at the time it was just a great way to help fund future projects and also to, be a part of a new emerging art scene. But obviously, just not knowing what the cost was. But yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have done it now.
No, really, why? He's a big YouTuber, he could just do it himself. Why do you need Shutter Shades to do it for you? Man Up Meaty, you could just draw a few little sketches, do some audio, and say it yourself. Also, why does Meat Canyon know Vim Homeless too? Another person I made fun of earlier for being a petty ass. Yeah, call me a crackpot, but if I swear to God, if I'm onto the next John Bob Twitter artist, Newgrounds artist, Deep State Conspiracy, Friday Night Funkin' shit, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, because they all hide secrets from us.
Vim Homeless Dude Shadman, do not be surprised that her stuffed out next!
Alright, enough of that schizo shit, because if I keep on going, we're gonna be here for hours. Like, for a little bit of fun, I can make fun of Just Stop's pointless color theory bit that just sounds like it was written in to impress an English teacher. Or Izzy's video, or Izzy's, or whatever the hell you want to call that Slanesh spawn, just justifying calling Antoons a pedophile first, because he called her a map second.
So I made a video without an interview and assume characteristics about you. So you call me a pedophile? Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Like, bitch, you're the one who threw that baseless claim out there first. Don't be surprised when people say that kind of shit back to you.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Do I think Antoons did nothing wrong?
No!
Did you not hear me earlier explain how easy it was for him to just censor the hate porn that was made on him he sent to Just Stop? Sure, it wasn't in a pedophilic context, but people don't take it lightly when you send basically porn to someone who isn't 18 plus.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Along with Anton stating Just Stop did a crime looking at other NSFW and 18 plus artists on the internet. I mean, technically it is a law, but it mostly counts when somebody is actually showing porn stuff to a minor directly, not if they stumble upon it on the internet. It's kind of like people aren't really responsible for someone randomly stumbling upon some shit on the internet. I also mentioned earlier those 2-hour-long videos that got a lot of boring segments to them and just waste a lot of time rather than getting to the point of things. I'm just glad in the first remake of your video you cut out that song thing. It was fucking pointless. You're debunking. You're not Disney. We do not need a musical segment. Get to the point already.
What can I say except...
Get over there!
There's also that bit in your second video at the 58-minute and 44-second mark where you credit the wrong artist for one of the pictures that was made to troll Puppy Chan. Anton states it was this person named Moss, aka Mosquito B, and let me just tell you, she's a story for another day. Yeah, from what I heard, Moss made porn for someone that was underage and knew their age too. Anyway, back to the guy that actually drew this thing, and funny enough, I actually know the guy. Hell, I met this guy in this Sneaklave server. But anyway, here to explain his side of the story, here's my friend Plague, aka EnclaveTrooper69 on Twitter.com. So anyway, take it away, Plague.
I initially did the drawing for a guy in the old Empty Hero Discord server named Ramrange. Now, the picture that I drew, showing that showing Antoons hanging Puppy Chan was initially supposed to be an inside joke between me and a guy that commissioned me to do the piece. However, lo and behold, I check on Twitter. It turns out the guy posted the art piece. I eventually went to him and basically told him, what the fuck are you doing? That was supposed to be an inside joke between us. He posted it because he thought it would be funny. Eventually, I was approached by Puppy Chan and asked if I was the one who did it. And I told her, yes, I was the one who did it, and Antoons, was the one who commissioned it. And when in actuality, that was a lie. Eventually, Mosquito, or whatever her name is, got the hate directed towards her. To be honest, I'm just a nobody, but this affected someone, and I really didn't want this to turn ugly. To Mosquito, I am very, very sorry about what happened. You know, this thing was blown out of proportions, and I just want to let you know that I hope you're doing well and everything. And to the individual who commissioned me, fuck you. You're supposed to keep it between us. And I think that's everything.
Anyway, that was my friend Plague. Please go follow him on his Twitter. He makes some pretty good traditional art. I'm going to link his Twitter down below, and I swear to God, if any of you guys try to cancel him over this edgy image on the internet...
Take it easy, it's just a drawing.
I can say for a final bit here that Anton was milking this drama dry, and yeah, you're definitely right about that. That Daft Pina diss track he made with somebody else that was wronged by Daft Pina, that other song making fun of commentary channels and how they all act like royalty, and I'm gonna be honest, he's got a point with that one. Also, a 28-minute documentary about yourself. Like, dude, you're not that old yet. You're 30. You're internet old, not old. You're not Don Bluth yet. Also, did you really need to waste your 90K special on Puppy Chan of all things? Like, Puppy Chan? Okay, enough criticizing the dude for having a petty ego. Who really fucking cares? Also, you're doing the euthanization method wrong. Decapitation? Come on, that's not how you do it for a dog. You're supposed to shoot him in the head like Old Yeller. That or just give him Benadryl. This whole entire bit of me criticizing Antoons' ego was just another way for me to segue into talking about Puppy Chan. And how more terrible she is compared to him. After all this Antoons drama stopped, cause Twitter drama blows faster than a cheap prostitute, people started to take notice about Puppy Chan, and how Puppy Chan is a lot worse than Antoons ever could be. Disgusting! I mean, for an easy jab, I could talk about how her art is the most lazily cobbled together bullshit I've ever seen. This is wrong! The way she draws her characters doesn't look fluid at all. It just looks like a bunch of misshapen blobs just stapled together. It's like she doesn't even know how to draw a basic shape, let alone actual anatomy or a diagram skeleton. Glue! Along with these lazy-ass drawings being in the same-ass pose over and over again. Interesting character design. Posing practice? What the fuck is that? Just draw the same Snoopy bootleg over and over again in the same ass pose. And people say NFTs are lazy. Along with the other lazily hacked together stuff Puppy Chan draws, she draws softcore porn on her main account. The Safe for Work account that she purposely removed the 18 plus from. Bruh. Look, there's a difference between drawing a body type and just being in the fat booty. Puppy Chan really do be like, it's body positivity, fool. Nope. My ass, more like the writer's barely disguised fetish. Hell, the only way I think Puppy Chan even gets clicks is for 3 reasons. Surface level praise from the Antoons drama, Coomer's wanking it off to her softcore porn, and people looking at her low effort art and thinking it's the cutest thing ever. Hey, remember Ralph the Movie Maker's video about Minions and how everyone likes them for their overly simplistic design? And if you were to take that overly simplistic design and add some actual details to it, it would look ugly as shit and just land smack dab into the uncanny valley. That's what I think one of the main appeals to Puppy Chan's art is. It's overtly simplistic. Okay, with the easy jab out of the way, let's talk about how Puppy Chan is actually worse than Anton. Because, man, does this rabbit hole go deep. Funny enough, the sins of Puppy Chan have lasted longer than the Antoons drama itself. And sure, you could call Antoons an egotistical, petty drama whore that's a bit of a troll. Base! Bro, that's like the only things the Kiwis even really criticize him for. His thread's not even mainly about him. His thread is just mostly people talking about others A-logging about him, and that one time him and the guy that made that Blonic animation got into a fucking petty Twitter fight. When a Kiwi thread stops talking about the person that it's mainly about and just talking about other people, you know it's getting desperate and boring as shit. And then you take a look at Puppy Chan's thread and you're just like, oh man, oh god, oh man. Antoons' thread last time I checked was only like 16 pages long, and the most recent talk about him is about his most recent 2-hour-long video he made. And then you look at Puppy Chan's Kiwi thread and that thing is just like 700 pages long and counting. And that's when you know there's a lot to talk about this locale. Most recent posts about her are just talking about her grooming victim, totally not going to repeat the cycle. People on Twitter either white knighting or making fun of her to hell and back. and people theorizing if she's going to come back or not, and I think you already know the answer to that question. Terminally online bitches don't leave the internet. I mean, recently, Puppy-chan just tried to come back on another account and say she was Asian. First, Autumn changes her gender constantly, now she'll change her race constantly. She's the most progressive being on the face of the planet. If I can recommend anything that explains to Clusterfuck that is Puppy-chan's legacy on the internet better than I can, and doesn't involve you reading what is basically a college textbook about a mentally unstable Twitter artist, I would recommend Zonelli's video about her. His video does a good job just getting to the point and giving a good gist of the shit she's done. Like how Puppy-chan constantly suicide baits almost every even day of the week. Don't worry, I'll get to that later. Right now, you should really be subscribing to Zonelli. Despite making one video roasting Puppy-chan, he does a bunch of other shit post like comedy videos as well, so give him a sub, dude. Come on. Do it. I would also recommend an Antoons second video at the 1 hour, 56 and 48 second mark where he talks about Puppy-chan too. Even though it wasn't him talking, it was another person, he got to voice it.
Then sells her characters, usually to try to make them...
That part in Antoons' video explains way more than Zonelli, so if you want more context and explaining more shit that Puppy-chan did, including her alt accounts, go watch Antoons' video about it. I'll just link the video below in the description and give a timestamp right next to it. Anyways, enough recommending videos about Puppy-chan. Let's actually talk about her in this video, because a lot of new shit happened after these videos and only like one guy is talking about it. So before I talk about the new shit, let me give a summary of Autumn's degenerate actions on the internet. And such degenerate actions include sending her fans on people, multiple times even, for some of the most dumbest and pettiest reasons imaginable.
Like, calm down, it's just a troll video. Also, Puppy-chan sent her followers to mass report someone's Twitter account, all because the person called her annoying. Yes, her ego was so insulted because of a word that she sent her fucking gargantuan army of drooling retards to report inoffensive tweets, including a fucking GoFundMe to raise money for an injured pet. Like, if you seriously get ass mad over being called annoying, you need to get out of your hug box and off the internet.
People have given me even worse hate and troll comments, and I just ignore that shit. This is just pathetic. There's also what I mentioned earlier and how she's threatened to kill herself multiple times. And I'm not just talking about like a couple of times, I'm talking about almost daily.
Nah, I'm just up here to kill myself.
Also, funny thing about the suicide bait Autumn does, I bet you already heard about the blueberry situation, in which one of the many suicide baits Puppy-chan has done, she threatened to kill herself with a fucking blueberry because she has a mild allergy to them. And this isn't the only time that Puppy-chan's suicide baiting has gone to comical levels either. There's even the time she threatened to kill herself over a D's nuts joke.
I can't do this shit no more, man. I got baited into a D's nuts joke. Oh, fuck, nigga.
That's racist.
You're racist. I swear to God, I'm gonna get sussed for this joke. Bam! There's also people having a problem with her overly sexualizing the trans characters she has. You know, that pink dog thing or whatever? And with Autumn covering up their fat fetish baloney, I wouldn't be surprised they're scoliosexual of how coon-brained they are.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Hey, speaking of Puppy-chan being a cum-brain, let's talk about how she was a baby fur in the past. And how she said it was a coping mechanism for age regression. Wow, drawing degenerative furry art and saying that's a coping mechanism. Yeah, it's totally not a disguised fetish. To any Twitter artist going to defend her baby fur art saying, well, art therapy's a thing? Quit bullshitting. We all know you're just trying to cover up your disgusting fetish with a psychiatry term. Just because you can draw tits on the internet doesn't make you a fucking psychiatrist. Hey, speaking of Puppy-chan doing baby fur shit, let's also talk about another disgusting creep in the room that she knew ever since she was 16. Forlong, other known as Hushy, is another baby fur that knew Puppy-chan ever since they were 16. What makes Two Thick Bones over here so unique? Well, they don't have a problem with zoophiles, did sexual baby fur roleplays, made a child character that looks like a fucking Blue's Clues bootleg, only to draw them getting sexually abused by their mother. What the fuck? Also, deadass trying to kidnap a child. No, I am not kidding. And when people found out Puppy-chan knew this person ever since she was 16 years old and they were still following each other, people were starting to look at her with a suspicious glance. She did her usual, I'm sorry, ooh woo, apology, but no one was having it that day. And she did it again, actually mentioning Forlung this time, but people were still suspicious about her. And I wouldn't judge them when she started using lolicon words, making dragon-made fan art, and people started noticing she followed people that did lolicon shit. Uh-oh!
But then others pointed out that Puppy-chan had known about Forlong's actions, but did nothing until more people pressured her. When someone directly asked if she had a rebuttal, Puppy-chan just ignored the question. There was also the factor that Puppy-chan was still following some of Forlong's friends, as well as people who draw or are fans of Lolicon. An example is someone who goes by the name of Cumwife. One other notable Twitter user is Deceased Bunny, who has a keen interest in necrophilia. After some insisting, Puppy-chan did stop following some of these people, but she still followed some of them on alternate accounts. Puppy-chan is claimed to be against pedophilia, yet she still decides it's okay to interact with some of these people. Going back to Forlong, Puppy-chan has been apparently following Forlong since she was 16, so Forlong may have been another inspiration for Puppy-chan to make and continue making Kumar art.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising that people were starting to come up with the conclusion that Puppy-chan was being a bit suspicious behind the scenes, especially with the other people that she was hanging out with.
Communists!
Hey, let's talk about those people right now. The first person I want to talk about is a guy that goes by the name of Ratgendered. Yeah, they were another coon brain that Puppy-chan knew and was mostly known for being one of Puppy-chan's girlfriends. If you call that living testicle a girl.
Lol, you're fat. Get wrecked, you fat scrub man.
Yeah, they're mostly known for trying to force someone named Rabsberries into a polygamous relationship, a sexual one at that.
That's a bit sus!
And Puppy-chan just blatantly ignored this shit and tried to cover it up. Eventually, with Ratgendered being a fucking cum-brained loser, groomer claims started to surface about them. But Puppy-chan didn't leave them for the groomer claims. Eventually, Raspberries just left as some bitch named Hazel came into this fucking polygamous relationship bullcrap and just started saying slurs for the sake of comedy.
Based.
Yeah, Autumn left them both because of this shit. Man, talk about priorities. Let's also not forget that Coomer Discord server that PC and Rat had.
Sussy poka.
I mean, it's not surprising that Rat would make this shit when they look like a fucking Discord mod. Anyways, on to the next person. Another person on the list of suspicious people that PC knew was Selma the Sylvixen. Despite that cutesy little Pokemon icon, they're just another fucking fat loser that posts pictures of their floppy-ass gun on the internet for everyone to see.
Dude, put that thing away!
So yeah, with Selma's fat fetishisms out of the way, they were also known for being another one of Puppy-chan's girlfriends. And funny enough, when more Puppy-chan drama was being unearthed and people found out that Selma and Puppy-chan were in cahoots and Selma was friends with a pro shipper, people found out more shit about this Selma Sylveon guy, like how he's into feral and lolicon porn. If you don't know what feral is, God bless your soul, but anyway, it's basically hand-drawn zoo shit. There's also this other person that Antoons mentioned in his video that goes by the name of Nell, other known as P-shitters, and I'm gonna be honest, he just over-exaggerates them. Like, you'd expect P-shitters to be a fetish thing, and no, it's a joke name. The only thing that makes them worth mentioning is that they demand money from people trolling or criticizing them, and just how they bitch about white people like they're the spawn of Satan. Just your average Twitter troon that needs actual mental help, and not a hug box of random weirdos on the internet. Alright, with Puppy-chan's Black Book out of the way, let's talk about the most recent shit that happened. Yeah, if you've been keeping up with recent events, Puppy-chan was caught in 4K giving a minor advice on how to draw NSFW on the internet and get away with it. Surprisingly, she outed herself on this. Because the person that gave advice, Call Me Green, was going to call them out on this. Puppy-chan tried to do her usual cover-up on this shit, saying how she and Green totally talked it out and are friends again. But in a stroke of good luck, Twitter wasn't having that shit today, because people realized it was just a groomer trying to manipulate their victim into saving their ass. And that failed miserably for Puppy-chan because no one really takes it kindly when a 15-year-old is getting advice to draw basically porn. And looking at Green's art, I'm pretty sure that Puppy-chan wasn't the only one to talk about NSFW shit with them either. Yeah, I'm pretty positive that there's people grooming Green behind the scenes as they're doing softcore porn too. I'm not even surprised at this point. But man, who would have thought that Puppy-chan, the Twitter artist with an overtly cutesy art style, yet for some reason draws their characters with thighs the size of a goddamn dump truck, would turn out to be a groomer? Twitter artists with overly cutesy art styles not being a grooming ring challenge. Deadass impossible. Now Puppy-chan is finally gone and off the internet. Is what I'd be saying if she wasn't already coming back to Twitter on May 20th. She just did this deactivation crap so she could stop losing followers. I mean, it only takes 30 days for a Twitter account to fully delete itself. So before Puppy-chan's fanboys with absolutely no brain cells come back to defend her and say, Puppy-chan did nothing wrong, yo!
Kill yourself.
I recommend to spread all this info out. She deadass groomed a child. I mean, we already have people trying to dismiss the evidence on Kiwi Farms about her. Despite that Kiwi Farms has in their terms of service, you'll get banned for posting any fake shit, and they have their mods and third parties check posts for legitimacy. Twittermites are only scared of Kiwi Farms because they make edgy jokes and tell the truth about them, and that's why they always try to dismiss this site as false evidence. And to people still talking about Antoons even after this drama is over, just shut the fuck up already, it's what he wants.
Lol.
Bitches really be out here struggling with reviews, making videos about how no one cares about the Antoons drama, yet they're making videos caring about it.
Remember how that whole drama was basically over? Like, everyone moved on? For those who don't know, the Antoons drama was surrounding a comic artist named Antoons and a YouTuber named Daft Pina. Daft Pina did a video on Antoons where he exposed him as being a racist tracer. He was making overly bigoted comics on Twitter and was a tracer.
Redundant? Much redundant?
Now that is a nice argument, Nekocuck, but unfortunately, you just got your life. Your opinion is automatically invalidated. Also, you're a mentally unstable man. Get out of your fantasy world while you still can. You'll never be a cat girl. There's also Harley TBS's video spurring about Antoons' latest video because...
Oh my god, guys. Antoons doesn't believe I was groomed. He's totally defending my groomer by doing this, guys. I can't fucking believe this. Yikes for reals and yikes forevers, y'all.
Man, it's kind of like Antoons has a right to his own opinion, especially when you're a fucking lolicon enthusiast. What did I expect from a person who plays Genshin Impact?
But Harley said he doesn't like it anymore.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I just don't believe Emo Timmy Turner. Especially just how much he lies out of his ass, too. Speaking of Harley lying, he also does it in his fucking video on Antoons where he had a conversation with the guy. And only showed specific parts of the conversation in his video. Now, what was this conversation about, you may ask? It was literally just Harley being pissed off at one of Antoons' fans drawing incredibly weird porn of him. From Harley said it was CP of him. And what I could get from the screenshots that Harley showed in this video and the one that's still available on Kiwi Farms in high res, it was just some argument on the dude who drew its age. I'm just gonna be bloody honest here. Why should Antoons even care about this guy? He didn't draw it. The other dude did. Do I need to explain how YouTubers aren't responsible for what their fans do, Harley? I would show more screenshots because Harley did post a full conversation on his Twitter, but then he deleted it with a bunch of other tweets. Also, remember earlier when I was mocking Harley earlier saying that Antoons defended his groomer? Yeah, it turns out Harley wasn't actually groomed at all. I'm just going to show you the video proof of that, and I'll link it in the description. I was going to make another point here, because funnily enough, I got from the horse's mouth itself, Antoons, that some dude named Definitely Pouring Oranges was making another video about him. I was going to make the bit here where I just say to Oranges, like, don't make the video, dude. If you want this fucking drama shit to stop, then just stop talking about it already. But before I knew it, the first part of the video was out. And I'm just gonna be bloody honest with you, Orange. Your video is just mid. It's really just mid. Like, a lot of the points just come to subjective opinions. Like your opinion on Antoons' jokes and his comics.
Comedy is subjective.
Alright, I'm just gonna end this retrospective / Puppy Chan call-up video because it's taking way too long to finish this thing. I was writing the script before Antoons' second 2-hour-long video even came out. That's how much effort I put into this fucking thing. I'm gonna put the link to my sources below, along with a ton of other people you should totally follow. Like, seriously, you should follow them. They do better art and content than Autumn ever can. So, in a nutshell, Autumn Neville is your average overpraised, cutesy Twitter artist, groomer arc and all. Commentary channels should really stop giving a crap about a 30-year-old animator that likes to troll people. And Daft Pina, Just Stop, and Harley TBS, along with a bunch of other self-righteous commentary creators, should shut the fuck up and stop snipping their own farts. This Antoons drama was overblown and fucking stupid and should have ended literally a year ago. Stop A-logging about some 30-year-old animator that has an ego. Anyways, I'm SF1232. Now please, for the love of God, just shut the fuck up about Antoons already. Who cares what the fuck he's doing?
Yikes.